Excitement and adventure are around every corner this summer at your library. Create your own literary wonderland at home. Immerse yourself in our never-ending online library. Learn new skills, explore virtual events, and connect with your community in a whole new way. Starting May 18th, the Prince George's County Memorial Library System and the Washington Nationals bring summer at your library to you. Hit a home run this summer and register today.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Crafternoon, our live virtual craft activity series. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoy.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm Ms. Natalie from the Accokeek branch of Prince George's County Memorial Library System, and welcome to our Crafternoon. Today's craft is going to be Jack and the Beanstalk themed. We are going to make a castle in the clouds supported by a beanstalk. We're going to need a few things to get started. If you have a cardboard tube, a big one, or a small one, you could use that to be your beanstalk. I'm trying to make it a little bit smaller so it fits on camera better, so I'm going to be using some printer paper and a little piece of pretty paper that I found. Now, since beanstalks are typical construction paper, you could just draw on it with crayons or markers and it would be the same thing. Our clouds today are going to be made out of some tissue paper. You could use cotton balls or toilet paper or paper toweling if you've got that. And the clouds are going to be supported by this paper plate. To make sure everything fits here, I'm going to cut it down a little bit because it's kind of big. And that is where our scissors come in. If you've got kid safety scissors, I recommend using those. I've just got these real big guys. And then we're going to put everything together with some tape. The last thing we need is a pencil or a marker or a pen or a crayon, just in case there are some details that we find we want to add later. Let's get started. All right, our first step is to make the beanstalk. This is the piece of paper that I have chosen. It's pretty small because I'm making kind of a small model today, but you could use a bigger one and that's fine too. We're going to roll it into a tube because beanstalks and most stems and vines are typically round. We're going to roll them up and then tape them in stalks, and most stems and vines are typically round. We're going to roll them up and then tape them into a tube. Now the reason that a castle supported by a beanstalk is a little bit exciting is that that doesn't typically work. A vine is not very sturdy, and a castle is kind of heavy. I'm afraid that's going to be the same case with what we're doing today. So we're going to need to stabilize this vine. I have some more of this same paper, and I'm going to make a little base that's going to make it a little bit sturdier on the bottom. I thought if I used more of the same piece of paper, that could be green like the grass and make it fit our vision. To do this, we're going to need maybe 3 pieces of tape. They don't need to be very long. And we are going to tape it in 3 locations around the tube. We're going to put half of it on the tube and half of it on the base paper. You could use more tape than this if you want to, but I try not to waste tape. There we go. And there, no matter which way we push it, it's pretty sturdy. All right, there we go. So, well, I mean, it's green. like a plant. It's got some grass around it. It sticks up in the air, which is what we want our beanstalk to do, but it doesn't look very beanstalky. Maybe we need some leaves on there? Yeah, that sounds right. I'm going to take some more of that paper that I just cut off, and I'm going to make some leaves out of it. Leaves are typically almondy shaped, I guess. There's a lot of different ways you could make leaves. I've seen leaves that look like hearts. I've seen leaves that look like little jaggedy circles. Any kind of leaf you want to put on there is fine. Theoretically, I could have done some research into what beanstalk leaves look like. I did not do that. All right, there's a few leaves. Let's see how they look on there. I'm going to take a little bit of tape. I'm going to roll it up into a tube so that it's sticky on all sides. I'm going to use it to attach these leaves onto this beanstalk. Maybe one over here. Maybe one a little bit lower down here. These leaves aren't very big, so I'm not using very much tape. But there are a lot of them. So maybe note how much tape you've got before you start down this path. It'd be a shame to run out of tape at this point because there are a couple other things we have to add, like the castle. Put another leaf over there, and we'll stick this last one over here in the corner. Okay, that looks significantly more like a beanstalk. The next thing we need to do is put some clouds on top of it. Now, if you were using a tube like this, this would be just fine on its own. I'm trying to make a little bitty one that'll fit in this little bitty space. So I'm just going to cut out this circle to be my platform. You don't even really need to use a paper plate. As long as you've got some paper that's very sturdy, like a cardstock or a cardboard you could use. And I'm going to save this for something else later because I don't want to be wasteful. But this guy is going to go right up here to support our castle. But it doesn't really look like clouds. I mean, it's the right color, I guess. It's very flat for a cloud. Let's see if we can make it a little bit fluffy. So I grabbed a couple Kleenex. Looks like there's 3 there. I'm only going to need 1 for this size. I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to put the cloud base in there. Then I'm going to fold everything over very loosely so that there's a lot of air pockets to make it fluffy. I'm going to put a piece of tape on there. I might need 2 because there's a lot of fluffiness. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty fluffy. I might need 2. Let's see how much fluffier this one will make. I thought I'd have some left over, and I don't know what I'm going to need to do if I need to blow my nose later. I better use that 3rd one only in an emergency. maybe another piece of tape. Yeah, that's pretty floofy. Yes, excellent. Beanstalk. Beanstalk is an app that we use at the library. Be sure to sign up for Summer at your library. Let's see. We're going to need to put it kind of near the middle. And then we're going to tape it down so it stays. And then one on the other side because we don't want it to flip off. It needs to touch the cloud and the vine. Very nice. Very fluffy. I don't know if I'm feeling this little fold. I might just tape him up. All right. Now we need to put a castle on there. For that, I'm just going to use this white paper here. It is just regular printer paper, and when I do crafts, it's the paper that I use the most. It's very sturdy. It'll hold a fold in a nice sharp way like that. Plus, it's inexpensive. I love that. This might be too big still. Trying to make a smaller craft right now. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yep, that'll look good. So I'm going to make a castle, and I'm going to make a very simple castle because decorating the castle isn't really what I'm feeling today. What I'm feeling is the wonder of a castle in the clouds supported by beans. So I'm going to just fold this in half and then fold the two sides in towards the middle. I fold them in towards that middle line that we made by folding it in half. And now I'm going to have a little tower. Before I tape it together so that it's 3D, I'm going to draw the castle-y bits on there. Let's see. I'm going to want a castle door. That's for cert. Let's see. Yes. And I'm going to want some nice castle windows going on. Yes. Quite. I'm going to stick a couple down here too. People want to see outside even when they're on the first floor. When your view is the clouds from up top, that's probably something you want to look at. Pretty exciting. So I'm going to fold these sides back in toward the middle, and I'm going to tape this. That was a little bit fumbly. I might need some more tape down there. That was incredibly fumbly. Good heavens. Start the video over. All right, here we are. We've got a nice little castle going, and we are going to put that castle on the clouds. Going to tape him on there. Now anything we do with tape you could also do with glue, but that does take a longer time, and it would be unfortunate to make this Crafternoon twice as long just so we could watch the glue dry. So I've put a piece of tape on this side, half on, half off, and a piece of tape on this side, half on, half off, and I'm going to stick it down on this cloud. It's a little bit wobbly, but when you're not holding it perpendicular to the floor, it's not as wobbly. All right, that's pretty good, but I mean, I kind of feel like we need a giant and a jack too. let's make a giant to go in this castle. In fact, I didn't put a roof on this castle. I might have him just peeking out of the top because he's a giant and he's that tall. That could be neat. That means he's got to be pretty skinny, just tall, if he's going to fit in this tiny little tube I made. So his body's inside, so I'm not even going to draw that. I'm just going to say, yep, there's his body. And then his arms are coming out. And he's like, hey. Yep, this is exactly how people draw hands. Yep, that's clearly art there. All right, and then he's got, he's definitely got a mustache. There we go. He's like, Jack, we've talked about this. You aren't allowed to come up here. All right, and I'm just gonna stick him so he's coming out of the top of this castle. But we need a little Jack too. And his vibe is going to be entirely different. He needs to be very small for one thing, and also he's a kid, so I don't know. Since I'm drawing so small, I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of detail in here. Let's put a shirt on him, and when you're climbing, your arms are going up. His other arm is over here. Yep. There's my Jack. All right, there's my little Jack, and we're going to want to tape him onto the beanstalk so that people can tell he's climbing up. I hope that's the last of the tape I'll need, because that tape fell all the way across the room. All right, a little tube of tape stuck on his back. All right, and I'm just going to have him holding on to this leaf and standing on this leaf. There we go. All right, we are going to have to pull back a little bit to see the full effect, I think. Oh yeah, it's a little bit shadowy here down by this beanstalk. And he's climbing, and he's climbing, and oh, Jack, get down from there. We've talked about this. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming over and for making what is objectively kind of a funny craft with me today. I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And I hope you guys come around later. Bye.
Excitement and adventure are around every corner this summer at your library. Create your own literary wonderland at home. Immerse yourself in our never-ending online library. Learn new skills, explore virtual events, and connect with your community in a whole new way. Starting May 18th, the Prince George's County Memorial Library System and the Washington